One of the most permanent ways to end a friendship is to become a business partner or get married to the person.
The friendship comes first, and that's what we've got to work through first before we can work through the business stuff.
I love that.
Set the intention from the beginning and set the expectation from the beginning, and then you're in alignment.
So we have some do's in a partnership. Ego checks, trust but verify, partner before profits, clear expectations and intentions. Stay in your lane.
I mean, the last and most important is...
Are you tired of complicated business advice that rarely delivers any real results? I'm Preston Brown, and I've built a 9-figure portfolio by following simple business formulas that anyone can use. In my new book, Your First Million Made Easy, I reveal the exact system that I've used to generate hundreds of millions in revenue, and it's frankly a system that works in any industry, with any business, and yes, in any market. The good news, it's not about hustle. It's not about running or working or struggling. And what it is about, creating money instead of just earning it. Because earning money is slavery, while creating is freedom. It's about stopping the cycle of managing by crisis and building a business that doesn't depend on you. Transforming your business from a high-paying job to an asset that generates money even when you're not there. Whether you're a startup or an established company, this formula will transform your business into a profit-driven machine that gives you the time and freedom to focus on what truly matters. Grab Your First Million Made Easy now, and let's start the journey of financial freedom together. I look forward to being a part of your story.
Hi all, and welcome back to Problems to Profit. Today, I have a sneaking hunch. I mean, I don't know yet because we haven't done it yet, and I'm not really that future-paced. I'm not one of these, I visualize this and that and the other and can kind of see it all perfectly. But I have a sneaking hunch. We're about to have the most fun podcast we've ever done. Like, these girls that I'm bringing on, like, yes, this is a threesome podcast, are maybe some of the funniest people that I've ever met. Okay. I was at a mastermind. We had like a weird circumstance, actually a bad circumstance. There was this crazy Wicked Witch of the West, like, flew in on her broomstick. I stored it by shoving it up her so she would walk around like a complete, and like just wanted to judge everybody, talk shit to everybody. What made it better was she was like quoting herself as, I'm an energy healer. And it's like, you need to learn about energy. And like, it was stressful. It was toxic. It was nasty. And then there was these two beautiful women that I have the opportunity to interview today. I knew nothing about them, like literally nothing about them. And by the end of like day 1, day 2, I think I had abs because they took this amazingly bad situation that was just awkward and rude and toxic, and they made jokes about it nonstop. Like, we laughed, we had fun. I had no idea who they were. I'd kind of like interacted with them a little bit as part of the mastermind. I actually thought they might be the same person because like one of them sat in my class. I was like, oh, cute blonde listening to me. And the next day she's like, cute blonde listening to me. Both of them were like, oh, I own an IV lounge. And I'm like, oh, I own an IV lounge. And when you're like interacting, I was like, did you come back for more? Like, and like, no, that's my partner. And then I was like, oh, what? But you guys have this like vibrant grace, this amazing energy, like not like most partnerships you ever see. Like, this was a partnership where there was a care about one another first. The conversation wasn't all business. The way they interacted was like genuine, kind, loving. They brought fun into the situation. You guys are also like probably have missed your calling as stand-up comedians, but like they were just rock stars. And so I'm so excited to get into it with Jana and Jordan with Vitamin IV Lounge in Austin. Like, and I want to talk today partnerships, but before we do, I'd love to hear, and I know you guys are wildly successful entrepreneurs and you're helping everybody in the health space and you're like, you're literally jabbing people, like not the way Fauci did. Like, we shouldn't say jab, but like you're giving people like hydration and all these other things. But more importantly than that, at least for the context of this show, is you're doing so in a way that most entrepreneurs try and fail at. You're doing so in a partnership. But in kind of the way that we do this, I'd like to hear your stories, just kind of, because you've been fast friends for a while.
Right.
From the beginning to now, What were the problems that taught you the lessons that made you into these amazing human beings that just like became this energy, this light, this fun, and frankly, this comedy that drops you on your ass and gives everybody abs in the best way? Like, and Jana, Jordan, thank you so much for being on the show. Like, I'm so glad you're here.
It's wonderful to be here.
And we're going to take all of those comments as compliments.
Yeah.
I meant them all as comments and compliments. Compliments first. Yeah. Give us some of your story. Give us some of your background. Like, who are you guys? How'd you turn something that sometimes is a toxic word in the business frame, partnership, into something so beautiful, so fun, and so awesome?
You want to go?
So for me, who am I and where did all that begin? I would have to say from an early age, I'm one of 5 children. And so that hustle and grind has been necessary to be heard in a household that large. I was fortunate to be raised with the beliefs that I shall have anything that I believe, I shall receive it, and no dream is too big. And it really, I can do whatever I want with regards to what life I want to live, and I can create that. And so I was lucky to be instilled that as an early child, but it was volatile. My dad is who taught me that, and the interesting thing is he was volatile. When his highs were his highs and his lows were his lows, and he was in sales and he was an entrepreneur and he was always trying to make it work, and it didn't always work, right? The low, up and down the roller coaster. And my mom, raised the 5 of us. We're all 2 years apart. So it was just, can you imagine? I know you talk about your businesses like children. Imagine 2 years apart, and 5 of them. And so it was crazy. We didn't have any money. We were, sometimes didn't know where we were going to live the next day. And she moved us 23 times in 25 years, being married to my father, 5 children. And so, looking back at that, I just look at that human being as just our guardian angel, because I didn't look back at that time of insecurity or fear or lack, which is pretty incredible considering that's what was happening. We just were not experiencing that. So she created this halo of love and support and helped us really express our creativity. And as a child, I was always an leader, entrepreneur. I mean, I started more businesses than I can count. I mean, we had a day camp at my house where people would bring their children over. I was 11 years old. I hired my 2 younger sisters, and people actually dropped their children off at my house. My mom just let us do it. She had too many other things going on.
It's like 5 kids wasn't enough. Bring yours too.
Yeah, well, I want to get, it was a business. So they would pay me, as an 11-year-old. I was always, the hustle and grind was always there. But anyways, so putting myself through college and, going through that, when I graduated, I knew what I wanted to do. And it was find that safety, that security, and know where the paycheck was coming, because growing up that way, I never had that. And so I got into pharmaceutical sales, and while I was in college.
You were a drug dealer.
Yes. Now I'm a different kind of drug dealer.
I love it. Now you're a drug healer.
Natural drug dealer now. So for me, I knew I wanted to be in the wellness space, and Jana and I have been best friends since college. We just hit it off, very like-minded, clearly. And so going through that, she comes to me, and from pharmaceutical sales, I got into medical device sales and in the operating room, and she came to me and she's like, we really need to start an IV lounge in Austin. And I was like, well, I don't know what that is, so I need to figure that out first. This was like in 2014. And I went to my husband, and at the time, who I've been married, my college sweetheart, been with him for 26 years, and had been, in this corporate driven culture, and had my second child, not business, real child. They're 20 months apart. And,
So pause. She's making fun of me because when I teach, I always, I talk about like businesses as people. She's soft talking right now. Because we've had a few other conversations. I had a real baby, mother is what she just said. Thanks.
I mean,
got it.
pretty much. And then I had two of them because they were 20 months apart. So I had a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, and, was waking up and working for the man every day. And so when I bring this idea to my husband, he's always been my biggest cheerleader, biggest supporter. I mean, I've been with him since I was 19, and just this amazing human being, always encouraging. And I was like, okay, this is what I want to do now. And he's like, you should do it. That's great. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to quit my job and leave all of that and go start this business that I still need to figure out what it is with Jana. And he said, yes, go for it. So at my national sales meeting, I went and experienced the IV for the first time because, you're up all day, up all night and all day, and the morning starts super early. And we go to IV lounge, and it just totally changed my world. I mean, my energy levels were like they were on day one. I felt great. I slept great. I woke up early. I was ready to rock it the next day for, all the trainings and conference pieces of it. And I was like, okay, yes. And if you now know me, but I am a very passionate person, and anything that I love, I have to share it with people. I have to tell everybody about it. And so that's how this was born for me. So I said, yeah, let's do it. And Austin's a perfect place to bring it to. We were the first IV brick and mortar lounge in Austin. And
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you started it.
Yeah. There was one other mobile place, but we were the first brick and mortar to prove out that concept in Austin.
Well, look, the mobile places are kind of great. I can't knock them.
Yeah.
We don't have the sustainability where I'm from in El Paso for a brick and mortar lounge. For whatever reason, our community just doesn't see the value.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to prove out.
But the mobile places survive. You know why? Because they sell it as a hangover cure, and El Pasoans love to drink.
Yeah.
It's the better way is getting with folks like yourselves and doing it for the health benefits, although the hangover relief is a real thing.
Yeah. Well, and we made the mission and from the very beginning that we did not just want to be the hangover cure, that we really wanted to come in and redefine wellness and help people understand that our bodies are always talking to us. And if you're not sleeping as well, or you don't have that energy at 3 p.m., or you've got brain fog, it's your body going, hey, I need something. And so our mission is to really tell people that by listening to what their body's trying to tell them, that through vitamins and nutrients and giving your body what it needs and that supplementation, you can feel good as you age.
And it's cool. I mean, that when you guys are doing it with IVs. You're doing it with the process of hydration. The body's 70% fluids, or it's supposed to be. It's not necessarily in most people because they're radically dehydrated. The earth is 70% water. There's some kind of correlation there. And we'll get into this. I'd love to hear maybe a little bit about it at the end and why IVs, even though that's not necessarily the premise, but it could be something good for people to understand. I got lectured by some of my health coaches on, all the vitamins you're taking aren't helping if you're dehydrated.
Oh, wow.
And so when you're giving vitamins through an IV, it's sort of like the lube that helps them get in.
It floods it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Straight to the bloodstream. Straight to the bloodstream. So you're getting all the absorption, 100% absorption of all those vitamins and nutrients. It's wonderful.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. That makes so much sense. I mean, you almost had to fight for attention. You probably did have to fight for attention in a family, 5 kids, 2 parents, 7 people. And then the ability to deal with stress, 23 moves in 25 years, a mother that understood maintaining grace despite stress. I mean, you had good teachers, good mentors, good lessons around how to deal with people. That story right there, I love it because it actually shows maybe some of what was necessary to build that endurance for working with a partner, because working with a partner is stressful. And you guys are technically a small business. Most of the folks that have come on this show are very large companies, but I can tell you, I have never, ever seen a partnership like yours. I have never seen people that have been in business for as long as you getting along famously the way you do. So I love the backdrop because I think a lot of folks need that to understand if you're going to go into partnership, and we can get into in some of the show later why people do go into partnerships and then maybe why they should or shouldn't go into partnerships. But if you're going to get into a partnership, those stories and kind of your life background answer and maybe even present a lot of the right questions for people on, do I have what it takes to exist within one. So, Jordan, that was rock star. You rock. Awesome. And Jana, like dive us in, girl. Like show us what's your backdrop like?
So I'm the clinical brains behind iVitamin. I created all of our different cocktails, and it's because I have a pharmacy background. So we joke about being a drug dealer. I'm the daughter of a drug dealer. Yeah. I'm a daughter of a drug dealer in a very small town in Northeast Texas. I have two older sisters who are also pharmacists.
Or a real drug dealer?
Who are also pharmacists.
Oh,
yeah. A family of pharmacists. My mother's a nurse. And so when I was a child, I remember growing up in a pharmacy. I remember sitting on the floor after school and raking all the colorful pills off the floor, like put them in a jar. And I grew up in a pharmacy. And so my dad was an entrepreneur. He opened his own pharmacy right out of pharmacy school at a very young age. And that's what I grew up around. My mom's an entrepreneur at heart too. She's a nurse, and she started a DME or medical equipment portion of our family business. And now, I mean, they have a relatively nice empire in Longview, Texas, of a compounding pharmacy and a durable medical equipment business. My mom is 77 years old and is still going to work every day. So these were my role models. My dad, was a troubadour, I guess you could say, in the pharmacy world. He went from our traditional standard pharmacy practices to compounding pharmacy. And back in the 80s, that was kind of a new thing. He went back to his roots where the pharmacy business started and started compounding and customized medication specifically for people's needs. Like maybe what's available commercially, it isn't one size fits all. And so he took the approach of really taking personalized, customized care and pharmacy to the next level. And so that is still in existence today. And that's what I was born into and raised around. And I really saw from a young age what dedication and work ethic took to run a successful business.
I love that. And that I could see where this marriage works. Like, because partnership is like a marriage. It's like a business marriage. And I love the background in kind of the pharmacist, drug dealer world. I was reading a news article about a guy I've known for a while, and he got arrested for like selling drugs, right? And he's a local dentist, and I mean I'd been seeing him for the last 3 years, and when I saw the news article, this was like last week, I was shocked. I was like, I cannot believe that guy was a dentist.
Wow.
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 Sorry. I love throwing that type of shade, stupid joke in. Pardon my jokes. Total fake story.
Well, mine is legit. I legitimately sell the legal ones.
I know. But it's fun to cross pollinate. I mean, like, look, I mean, there's I love calling pharmacists drug dealers. It's
I
just
love
one of my favorite
drug dealer. I like to see people's face when I say it.
It's so great. So let's dive in to just working together. And then, like, what were the reasons that you guys decided to do this together? Because both of you were successful. Both of you had careers. Both of you, I mean, arguably probably had the money to launch it on your own. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe there's some mitigation of financial risk to do a partnership, and that was one of the reasons. But, like, it sounds like you both had good careers, good backdrops, like good educations, like stable families at the time you launched. What was the reason you decided to do it together?
I mean, we have lived very parallel lives since college, and being kind of both got in the health and wellness industry as drug reps at the beginning, and then evolved, and Jana got her pharmacy license. And I think we were just at that time in our lives where, I mean, Jana was the girl on my couch for a long time too. Like, she would come back and forth from Houston to Austin. And so we've just always maintained this really tight best friendship. And since I've been with my husband as well since college, she's been in our lives for that long, for 25 years. So, together we, at that time, her expertise, but the other caveat was we had little ones. She had just had a baby. I had a 1-year-old. I had a 2-year-old. So there's no way we could do it by ourselves. to start with that, and then we just knew how we operate together. And I think the most important part of our relationship is that we give each other grace. And when we're going through something, there's just this level of understanding, because you're not the first person that's commented on just the uniqueness of our partnership. And I feel like just being able to give one another grace, because we recognize each other for being one and the same, going through things together, is what's really allowed us to have this partnership where we still have this friendship outside. I mean, we travel together, our kids are best friends, and our husbands are best friends, and it really is kind of a dream, when we think about it.
In a mastermind together, when you're around other people, you still hang out together.
Yeah.
Like, you genuinely actually like each other. And
Yes, absolutely.
meeting you all, like, I know lots of folks that are partners. I don't know lots of folks that are partners that still hang out years later. I considered maybe is a better word, before I met you, myself an expert in partnership. I knew how to get into partnerships. But more importantly, I knew how to get out of partnerships. I'm like a divorce attorney for partnerships. Like, I knew how to break them up. Now, you guys have a skill set that I'd love to dive into, because a fact I'm aware of is there's no partnership without problems. And if there's anyone that ever tells you there is, then that's just a liar. You guys have a better skill set than mine in being able to break up partnerships equitably and fairly. Like, I don't like cheating anyone, but like, sometimes, like, at least in my history, I got into deals with people to mitigate risk, or I got in deals because we both had a role that we were going to play. And then later at some point, like, the other party wasn't playing their role. And so it's just like, I don't want to be in anymore. Like, I'm not here to retire you. I'm not here to do the work. Like, or maybe the other party made financial decisions that were terrible and drag things. I mean, partnerships have problems, and you can get into them for all the best reasons. It's great to have the skill to get out of them, but it's probably better to have the skill to fix them and keep them. And I'd love to hear, if you guys don't mind sharing, what are some of the issues you've had, and how have you come back from them?
I think one of the things we joke about this, but it's true. She's the gas, she's full throttle, go, go, go. And I'm more of the brakes. I'm more, let's step back, let's think through this, let's really analyze, everything on the table here before moving forward. And so I think when it comes to overcoming some of those things, like, maybe I'm holding the bottleneck sometimes, just being right up honest. I mean, that's been the core of our friendship and our relationship is, all right, let's sit down, let's talk. This is how we're feeling, and let's talk through this, because without that upfront honesty and just getting it out on the table, it's not going to work.
And I think also there's no ego here. So it's not as if going through this, even though I'm the gas, it has to be done, or else I'm going to feel less than if it's not done. It truly is a working relationship with the vision in sight, that is shared vision of where we're trying to go as a team. So even though we disagree on those things, it's not a who's right or wrong. It's a, okay, I recognize you, I hear you, how can we work through this? And I would also add that there's just, you have to choose the right person too. I think our work ethic is very similar. Neither one of us wonder if each other is doing their job. And we never have. And that's a big part of the problems in partnerships, is you're wondering if I'm doing more, who's doing less, and are they and aren't they, and all those things. And we actually started the business with 2 other partners who are not with us anymore. And I think one of the reasons,
You killed them?
Well, no, but we're no longer friends with them in that sense, because, of the way that things ended. And it's sad when that happens and you start off with friends. And so it is a truly unique thing, but not everybody is built to be an entrepreneur. And so the stress of that, not everybody can handle. And then, just things that happen that you're not living similar lifestyles, so. One
of the most permanent ways to end a friendship is to become a business partner or get married to the person.
Totally.
I mean, 50% of marriages or more end in divorce, right? Well, partnerships that end is way higher. Like the divorce rate in business is way higher
Yeah.
than 50%, or they just shut it down, or it's a death of the company. And I mean, that's interesting. You guys actually started it with 4 and wound up at 2. Like,
Yeah.
but you all were able to mitigate the issues and see the value in each other's behaviors. Even where you were talking about, like, a lot of times I'm the bottleneck. You know that you're taking responsibility for that, but you're also saying, I need her to push me, but I need her to respect me while I'm analyzing things so we don't go too fast. Because where you might be the risk of going too slow, she might push too fast and get you guys out ahead of where you should be.
Totally.
And then there's too much risk.
Right.
Like, and I love that you can see that. Like, seeing one another's benefits, I wonder if men could say there's no ego. I don't know that I've ever seen men say, well, there's no ego here, because they'd be lying.
Yeah.
I can never say there's no ego, because I mean, I have an ego right now. Like, I mean, it's just a part of who I am. And I mean, I like my ego. I don't want to get rid of my ego. I might make him shut up sometimes, but he's valuable to men. I wonder if women can do the no ego thing.
I mean, I think, it takes work. It's not like it happens overnight, and it takes some soul searching and just, it's definitely work on just being aware. And we do check-ins with each other too. If I can see that she's going through something really challenging and, there's friction, or vice versa, we can do check-ins and just say, hey, are you okay? Are you okay today? I'm here if you need me. I know we have our separate roles within the company and our separate responsibilities, but, sometimes hers are overflowing and then sometimes mine are overflowing. And so that check-in and just that grace that I spoke of earlier, I think has been really helpful for us.
I think another key thing too is when we're stuck and we don't know, we really outsource and rely on coaches and mentors to help us kind of keep pushing through. So I think we can also admit when we're in a place where we need advice and input from external sources. So that's been another big key component to it.
That you can also relate to ego, right? Because if you think you could do it all, you're not going to ask for help.
Sure. Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I do believe that I can do anything, but I don't think I can necessarily do anything on my own. Like, I know that there needs to be a team, there needs to be a dream. Maybe I need to find the person for it. Like, it might not be I do believe God said anything's possible, and so it is. But that doesn't mean it's a spectator sport. It's got to be a team sport somewhere. Like,
Right.
I'll tell you what, on my tech company, you know what I'm not doing? Coding. Like, there's no fucking way you're going to get this Bobby's World looking nerd motherfucker to code shit. Like, I'm sorry, it ain't happening. So I want to like selfishly, for our listeners and viewers, use and abuse you and create like a framework of the do's and don'ts of partnership, like right here on this show. And, I wrote down kind of a number 1 is just ego checks.
Right.
But it sounds like somewhere hidden in the meat and potatoes of what you're saying, there's this number 2, which could also be number 1. I'm not putting them in order of relevance. I was kind of feeling like care more about one another than for the business.
I mean, we had the deal from the get-go. Friendship first. The friendship comes first, and that's what we've got to work through first before we can work through the business stuff.
So partner, I'm going to call that partner before profits.
Love it.
Yep.
Problems to profits. Partner before profits. I mean, we're going to make you guys a fucking tagline. So what are some other do's that are musts? Like, are there?
Yes. Set the intention from the beginning and set the expectation from the beginning. And then you're in alignment. I think you get out of alignment when you all have different ideas of what the end goal is and where you need to start and where you need to finish and what's most important. For us, it was no matter what, we're going to work through things. Even though we're building this business, we are first.
I think another one is us really staying focused and staying in our lane, staying in our zone of genius, saying what hat we are wearing. And when we start crossing over is when it starts getting, okay, stay focused and stay in your lane.
And just having the respect for one another to do that. I mean, as women, as mothers, we get out of our lanes all the time. We call them yards. Jana and I, we call them yards. We're like, stay in your yard. Even my kids would be like, stay in your own garden, and they're trying to tell somebody what to do and you can't control it. And then it makes you crazy. So,
Well, and with that comes trusting that they're going to stay in their lane and do the right thing in their lane.
Yeah.
Is trusting that process.
I mean, I like that. I'm going to throw that as trust but verify.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think not all partners will have the background of being best friends first. and actually some that do have the background of being best friends first, like your best friend might be a lazy ass.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a wonderful best friend. I don't know that I would partner with him. I probably wouldn't. He's a great guy, but he's not entrepreneurial, like at all. Like I could maybe employ him, but I could not partner with him.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? I think there has to be some entrepreneurial bug that's sparked in both people.
Yeah.
For I think that to work. So let's say trust and verify. So I got ego checks. I got partner before profits, like prioritize partner before profits is number 2. I got clear expectations and intentions. There's got to be communication update timelines though on that. Like, I mean, from the beginning, I love, but how often do you guys sit and re-communicate? Because in business, there's pivots all the time.
Well, it's funny because people think that we talk all the time and we hang out all the time, and we do, but we go without weeks without even touching base on personal stuff because it's all focused on the business, and people are like, oh, y'all see each other all the day, all the time. Like, what do you mean you're just out catching up? And so that's the running joke is we really needed that. Like when we have a night and we go out and we, have sitters and stuff, then, we hang out again. We're, friends where it starts. And so it's kind of the running joke.
We really needed that.
Yeah.
After every time we go out, we really needed that. We really needed that.
So communication all the time, but more so it's usually about the business. And
hold on. There was I want to squeeze that gold out. Like if it's and maybe this is a caveat to friendship first. If it's a partnership that's friendship first, because some of the best partnerships that have worked for me have been competitors that I've been at war with that later we've partnered. It wasn't with friends. Like friends actually went downhill real fast, which is why you guys are fascinating. Like when there's respect because you've each seen each other's strength in a battle before, that actually, in my experience, makes the partnership a little easier because they don't want to f you. Mm-hmm. Friends, like family, can take advantage a little bit. And you guys just gave a gold nugget that you create space for both the business and the friendship. Mm-hmm. Like, I think there needs to be a space that you create, like get the sitters, go out on the town, not all business talk. Like, let's make fun of the crazy spiritual bitch that's not spiritual and laugh for 4 hours, give Preston some abdominal muscles. Right? Like,
exactly.
I mean, so
to our abs class.
You have a new business opportunity. I mean, comedy with IVs, like abs class, so creating space, and at least for the people that were friends first, and I would say intentional space creation. This is relevant, but like maybe off topic, but it's the same. Like my wife and I were in business together for a long time. She's since personally exited the business. She doesn't work there anymore. But when you work together all the time, we had a coach that was a kind of a relationship driven coach. And she was like, you need to schedule time for you. And we're like, there's no time. It was an early part of the business. There is no time. They're like, you need to schedule sex, motherfucker. Schedule sex, schedule dates, schedule conversation. And I was like, really?
Really?
You got to schedule that? But it makes sense. And it's the same in a friendship. You got to schedule space for the area that was there first. Mm-hmm. I love that. Okay, so we have some do's in a partnership. And I'd love for you to tell me if I'm missing any. Ego checks, trust but verify, partner before profits, clear expectations and intentions. Stay in your lane, stay in your yard.
Yeah.
And then create space for if you were friends first, create space for the friendship. And even if you weren't, you partner with the person for a reason, you probably should create some space to get to know them as a human being. Am I missing anything on kind of the do's, the clickbait do's?
I mean, I would the last and most important is give grace. So we've seen each other through every aspect of life over the last 26 years, being best friends and been there for one another. Jana says, likes to say we helped raise each other as we went through our 20s, and just giving one another grace when things are not good and things are tough and hard, and just having that space where you let them go through that. And the expectations are just giving them love during that process.
I like that. I hear the word forgive. Like in my home building company, like we're in El Paso, Texas. And it's funny how everybody always puts this expectation of, you better be perfect.
Yeah.
You know that home you built for me? You know that last thing manufactured in America, not in a factory, out on a dirt job site like 20 miles from the nearest manufacturer, that was made by human hands, that had 1,000 people perfect, mother. Perfect.
Jeez.
And I always look at every one of the buyers and I'm like, hey, dude, just so you know, the last perfect person was Jesus. He does not work here.
Right.
Jesus does, though. Like I got Jesus. I got like 20 Jesuses coming to build your house. Ain't perfect. Didn't walk on water. If he did, it was a really not deep puddle. Yeah. So like, let's forgive each other up front. Like I'm asking everybody for that because like, hey, I'll take care of you if something does go wrong. But like, give me some grace. Let me give you some grace. I love that. Give grace. That's beautiful. Let's go into the don'ts. Let's go into the what could this up. Like, where can you go wrong? How bad can it get? Because that's where I thought I was an expert at ending partnerships. Let's hear some of the expertise on how to give grace when it's up, and let's hear what are the don'ts that do up that you have to give grace for.
Well, don't blame. Don't point fingers and blame that if something goes awry or something's not on track or something's not being accomplished, that it's one person.
Mm-hmm. It's more of, what can we do together to turn this around? How can I help? I see you in this space that is really, really tough and you need help. How can I help?
You know what? I want to discuss that. Don't blame. I love the word blame. Blame to me is an acronym. Okay. It's being lazy and making excuses. Okay. That's what I hear when I hear the word blame. But I actually really like blaming if it's effective, intentional, and honest. Like you can blame a circumstance for being, but very rarely is there a person that wants a circumstance for you. Most of the time it's not the person. So like if you're going to say, hey, this circumstance sucks, and look, maybe you had some part in creating it. I don't think you intended the outcome, but here's how we correct it together. I don't want to say don't blame. I want to say effective blame. Okay. Effective blame where you're following the partnership dues of give grace, create space, all that. Like effective blame. Like we can talk about the problem, but don't make the person the problem.
Yeah. Right.
Make the problem the problem.
Right.
I love that. Yep. What else is a huge don't where you have to give grace?
I mean, don't put parameters around me. Let me be me. Let me be in that zone of genius and let me run my own show, essentially, because that's why we're entrepreneurs and building this business, is because we have created this space for ourselves to truly be in that zone of genius. So don't limit that.
I love that because that actually balances. There's a polarity there to the one of like, stay in your lane, stay in your yard. Like, and it's true. Like we naturally do that. Like I naturally will place expectations on my wife.
Yeah.
I will naturally place expectations on my partners. And if you place the expectations and you don't discuss the expectations, like, you're going to have a really rough time. I've had a few really rough times that I've had to, I'm good at apologizing. Thank God. That's how I stay married. I'm like, I've learned the magic words. It's not please and thank you. Like I'm sorry.
I'll try to never do it again.
Look, I know I'm sorry in the future too. Did you know I love you? Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I like that. Don't block genius is what I'm going to call that, which is kind of the opposite of stay in your lane, but it's the way to stay in your lane. Like your style's not her style. You need her style. Her style's not your style. You need her style. Like I got a CEO that I work with and I'm telling you, like Viviana, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I'm diming you out. Bitch is a space alien. Okay. Like she is from outer space. And I say that lovingly because the word bitch means babe in total control of herself. Okay, so she is an absolute bitch. It's an acronym. Everything for me is an acronym. I was military. But she's a space alien. When I met her, I didn't think she had emotions. She could sit there like this Indian chief. How? And I'm like I'd tell a joke and she'd be like, you ever get like that uncomfortable person? But the woman's a computer. Like, I like to joke that I taught her how to smile because now she's like this vibrant light, but she still has that mode she goes into. And without her, we would be nowhere near where we are today. She's a computer. She's a genius. Like, she can remember that I can't remember. Everything is a process. Everything is a system. She keeps
amazing.
everything in line. Like, I can light the fire. I can innovate. I can push. But she's my Jana.
Yeah.
Like, now I hired her and I even gave her a percentage of the company. And I make fun of her. I can show you texts where I sent her a text last night and she's like, the answer is this. And I'm like, you linear robot. And she's like, thank you. I'm like, what the you know?
I need more.
and she is, but she thinks I'm crazy as like, I love her like a sister. Her kids are in my will. Okay.
Wow.
Like, but she's so different. And so there's truth in that. I love it. Don't prevent them from being them.
Right.
All right. What are some other don'ts? Jana, what are some don'ts? Like you've got a totally different perspective as the quiet one over there. I kind of want to pull some gold out of you. Like, what are some don'ts that like maybe pretend Jordan's not here. Like, we can like put a wall between you. Like, she's not here. What are some don'ts?
I think don't hold it in. When it's don't hold it in, don't let it fester.
I'm like, dime out Jordan, you dime out yourself.
Yeah.
You're like, I should talk more.
I encourage her to. I'm like, tell me what's going on there.
Yeah, no, when there is an issue, the longer it festers, the worse it's going to get. So it's getting it all out before it starts boiling.
Okay, don't hold it in.
It's a really good one.
I love that. So we have effective blame. We have don't block genius by preventing somebody from being who they are, which is why you partnered with them. We have don't hold it in. Like, emotions matter. And if you're feeling something, there's probably something there. Now, to be fair, and this is something else I'd like to talk to you about because it's totally like, and we're going to get a little bit into the working with women thing. So we might trigger some people.
Let's hear it.
We're going to talk about women. And I'm outnumbered. They're like looking at me like, we come in peace, but we can have you surrounded, motherfucker.
Right.
What are you going to say next? And you know, maybe you'll relate to this with your husbands. But sometimes I'll come home at night and my wife will be mad as hell. It's been a beautiful day. Nothing has happened. I've said nothing that I know of, done nothing that I know of, but she's sitting there with this look on her face like, I'm like, you just eat a spoonful? And you know what? It's not just my wife. Sometimes I walk into my office. It's been a beautiful day. Everything's great. I've said nothing or done nothing that I know of to create pain. And there's Viviana. Like a spoonful of shit.
Yeah.
Like, and it's there's an emotion there that is correlated to something that was said or done, which goes back to the give grace. Mm-hmm. And these are two women that I just, like, I love them. I adore them. If I knew something was going to hurt them, I would not only not say it, I would block anyone around me from saying it. But it doesn't mean that I know them, or that I know that about them, or that word is going to hurt them, or it's going to relate to something that might trigger them from something that happened 20 years ago when I wasn't in their life. And they're going to be like, what you said? And it's this kind of amazing thing. And, you know, actually, I should probably give credit. Allison Armstrong taught it to me. And she was like, do you know how to get makeup sex? And I was like, huh? And makeup sex, by the way, guys, is not relevant in partnerships. It's relevant in marriages. But I'd love to hear
also partnerships.
Which are partnerships, but like, but I think it's relevant to like even without the sex, bringing back that feeling of love. So I'm going to kind of share the process with you that Allison taught me for my wife, which I now go to the office and I use on Viviana. And I'd love to hear your context, your thoughts, and see if in some way you guys do this too, because like working with women is different. Okay. Like you guys, you feel something. And so when I get that like look that they tasted a spoonful of, I used to like walk up and like, go up and like try to like hug my wife or something. And like at the moment I would touch her, it was like this radical, crazy beast animal came out of her, said words that would flay the skin off my bone. And I'm like, what happened? Why are we doing this? Why do you hate me? Like, and she's even admitted, she's like, oh man, in the heat of the moment, I'm like in the back of my head listening, thinking, why did I say that? I don't even mean that. But she's just attacking. Viviana hasn't admitted that, but I know she thinks that too. And so like Allison told me, you don't walk up and touch them. You walk up and you like literally, and I think this is going to be another bullet point of things to do in a partnership often, but Allison told me, you got to go master the V. And I was like, wow, the vagina's complicated. What do you mean master the V? And she's like, not that V. The vent, you got to master the vent. Like you got to be able to hold a trash can. And so now I just walk up and I'm like, hey babe, I am pretty sure that there's maybe something I said or something I did today or at some point in the future. And I'm so sorry. I want you to know, like, whatever I said or did, I would never intend to hurt you. I love you. And I absolutely want to understand what happened. That way I can learn from it. Like if you're okay to talk now or later, whenever you're comfortable, I would love to hear about it because I mean, one, I want to make amends. And two, I want to show you I love you. And three, I just want you to know I'm sorry, whatever it was. And then I sit there and I just like wait and stand there and I'm like holding up this trash can, like getting ready for her to put in it. And she starts putting in it. And she goes and she talks and there's some talking and there's some more talking and then like some talking and she's telling me stories. And there's relevant that I apparently said that had nothing to do with her. I might've been talking about somebody at work that I was mad at and she got triggered or something. And then after that, she stops. And Allison told me, wait, you need to do the most unconventional thing a man will ever do. Man, I'm telling the story for you, especially if you partner with a woman, because I think they're probably going to agree with me, but I don't know. We'll see what they say at the end. We have not pre-programmed it. So Allison told me, you wait about 10 to 30 seconds. She may start talking again on her own. But if she doesn't, you say, there's more, isn't there? And you just shut up. And you're like, holding that trash can up again, just right up. And she will start again and she will put more in it. And then you repeat process. You just keep doing that same again until the following. Tears come in, or she leans into you and touches you and hugs you. And at that point, the emotions have expressed. The pain is gone. There's love again. This is actually why all my companies are run by women. I can't work with men. Their egos are too fucking big. But for women, so I know the trash can. Does this work with you all too? Does it resonate?
It's being heard and seen is what it ultimately comes down to. Heard and seen.
I mean, and for me, obviously it's a growing process, right? You didn't start off there and you've learned how to deal with holding the container for her. And I mean, I think, there's a lot of truth in what you're saying. I mean, for my husband and I, we get along really good because he's a great listener. Wonderful listener. Wonderful. 26 years we've been together. And finally he was like, okay, but we got to get to the point where I'm going to hold the container and I'm a good listener. But then we've got to get to that place where I understand, I see, I hear you. I'll try not, it's literally, he tells me, I hear you. I will do whatever I can not to do that again, but I'm not perfect, but I will try. And then he's like, but then I need you to come around and go, okay, all that matters here is I love you and you love me. And you've gotten to express yourself and now let's move on. And so then I had to come around to go, okay, let's get through this faster. Like, let's not draw this out. Cause I was a big, I wanted to draw things out and he was a good listener. So it tended to go longer than usual. And so we, over the, it's been 2 decades, that we've come to very similar resolution for stuff like that. Yeah.
So do y'all work this in the partnership together at times where you guys just need to hear each other out? Like when the hits the fan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We were doing,
It's easy because we're women.
Yeah.
We want to hold containers. We want to give this to each other.
we were doing it yesterday. We're like, on the
Okay,
phone.
so
So yes.
So that's kind of a natural process that women can do naturally when partnered together.
Yeah.
But if a man and a woman are partnered, then this is where the man might need to understand some things, because you're going to get the benefits of being partnered with a woman. You're going to get the benefits of her diffused awareness. You're going to get the benefits of her being able to kind of understand and create a culture and build almost a family dynamic within a company. You're going to be maybe this productive, masculine, focused. We're going to get this like visionary leader, all that. And you're going to lose everybody around you because they're not going to feel like they can bond with you because they're not in that mission, and they might have kids. They might be married. They don't want to work 24 hours a day. And when you partner with that woman, what is she going to do? She's going to sell the vision of the team, the dream, the community, our values, our mission, our goals. She's going to create a culture. She's going to do all that. But if you can't hear her out, she's going to divorce you. In business or marriage, by the way, guys, we're talking business or marriage, I think.
Yeah.
So, okay. So like, I'm going to put another don't. Forget how to apologize. I love that. I want to hit these and just go over them with you and see if there's any that you're feeling, because we're going to like put a little like graphic together. I'll have my girls do this. We're just going to put it in the show notes, like do's and don'ts
I like it.
of partnership. Okay. And I've got for don'ts. Make sure you don't blame ineffectively. You need to give effective blame. There's no problem with the person. The problem is with the circumstance. The person might be involved, but they're not bad. We don't need bad guys. We need to be mature enough not to have a bad guy. 2, don't block somebody's genius. They are not like you. That's why you met them.
Right.
Like if a man needs somebody to be just like him in a marriage, well, that's okay, but you are gay. Okay? Don't block genius. You need to have the counterpart. The polarity matters. Don't hold it in. And if somebody's not holding it in and she's just dumping it out and you're sitting there like with that trash can like, go for it, babe, I'm with you.
Holding
Don't
space.
forget how to apologize.
Yeah.
What else? I mean, these are gold.
Yeah.
And I'm loving like what we're getting, because like it's like we're pulling some genius out that we're gonna like make a document for that we could just share.
Wanting more don'ts?
I mean, if there are more don'ts, if you're feeling another one, throw it. And if you're not, like we can just move on to some other fun.
Man,
choose wisely, because when you go into partnerships and you don't truly think through who that person is and where they are in their life, that's a big part of it. If somebody's in a completely different space time in their life and you partner with them, you can't have the same expectations that you're going to have for yourself. And for us, that was very true, because at that time we had little children and babies. And so carrying each other through that too, while starting a business, needed a whole different level of understanding that someone might not have had if they weren't in those shoes.
Okay. I'm going to hit that because that's gold. And I'm going to take us from there into forming a partnership. Because a lot of people that don't have the means, like you guys didn't have the time means. You may have had the financial means, but you didn't have the time means to form a partnership because you just had kids.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a natural benefit in the time that you had. But you also chose unwisely with 2 and wisely with 1. And a partnership of 4 turned into 2. Which is very often, it happens all the time, but it's also, it's a weight that slows down. I mean, you guys might have had a larger company or another 2nd or 3rd or 5th location or whatever, right? If you hadn't had to go through that stress of getting a divorce in the process. Like we used to joke, you can measure a man's net worth by how many ex-wives, right? We had another joke that we tell to young men. You know, you can lose a lot of money chasing pussy. But you won't lose a lot of pussy chasing money.
Oh my God.
It's weird. They'll throw that at you. Sorry. I got to put clickbait in here, but on choose wisely, like, let's look at things you choose. I think you want someone with different skills than you when you're forming a partnership. So different skills.
I would say definitely that's been a big contributor to where we're at, is just our skill sets. And maybe it's not the gas and brake skill set, it's the clinical brains and what goes into the thought processes when it comes to the clinical stuff, but then also sales and marketing. I don't have a sales and marketing brain like she does. And so the skill set is definitely critical.
But while different skills are critical, it's not everything should be different. You need to have common values.
Yeah, absolutely.
So different skills, common values. Another thing that I think you need to do when forming a partnership, and we can dive more into choose wisely, but we can also dive into the expectations, is we need to discuss pay structures. How are you getting paid?
God.
And I think a lot of people lose track of that. Like everybody's in this race to get into business because they have this idea that when you get into business, you're rich. Like it's like a light switch. If you flip the switch, it's on. Like if you open a company, you're rich. And that is so not the case. Like, I mean, it's one step in a very long process worth of steps. But what I've seen is people don't know how to pay. Like there's 3 ways to pay. Like you can collect draws, but when you start, like 2 of your partners were like, wait, there's no draws? Huh? Like, I don't know if that's what happened, but I'll bet you that's part of what happened. Okay. Like I actually don't know the story of your partners. You've never told me. I don't know what their circumstances were. I don't know who they are, what happened, but I'll bet you a large part of the issue with them was around money, right?
Well, I mean, I think with anybody, like what you're saying and having those expectations, money is something that people do not have the clear expectations on, right? It's exactly what you're saying. You think it's going to be 6 months or 12 months. And then, I mean,
then it turns out to be 18 and then 24. And
we both left our jobs and very well paying jobs to do this. And again, the mindset and the same similar values and vision, we didn't get paid for 2.5 years. And we worked our butts off and didn't get paid. And that was just something that we knew we were building. We knew the purpose and the why. And then when we decided on how we were going to get paid, that was a whole nother conversation that we came together on and decided how that was going to happen. And then when COVID happened and things go up and down, then you decide, okay, well, maybe we're not going to get paid again. And so having just 2 of us and having that 2-way communication, understanding, and same alignment was everything, because if during COVID, she was like, oh, well, I have to, or I didn't. And having very similar parallel lifestyles and lives also helped with that, then that probably would have been a problem and friction.
So let's discuss pay, because I want to give like the little hack to the listeners. You can pay 3 ways, just 3. There is salary or hourly, which is what you get as doing a function for the business. Like the secretary makes some money, like the CEO makes some money, like the accountant makes some money. Like if you were performing a function, you need to be paid for the function in the business. So if you're working a job in the business, you perform that function, okay? And you get paid for that. Like if you're being the secretary, but you're a partner, you don't get the same salary as a partner that's running the shop, but you're the secretary. If you're a partner that, hey, I started it with you, but I'm not going to show up to work, you don't get a salary. Like, that's stupid. Why would you get a salary if you're not doing that? Your pay comes from a different type of pay, which is draws. Draws and bonuses come as a function of how you discuss capital management, which we'll get into in a minute. But generally, you get a draw when there's profits, okay? And we can go into capital management, and there's a lot of strategies for it. But that's when a partner that just owns a piece but doesn't show up to work gets paid. So then there's the third way to get paid, and that's commission, bonus structures. And that's for growing the company or preventing shrinkage of the company. I mean, you can have a million different types of commission structures, but if you have somebody selling a product, they should get a commission. They might get small salary and commission. They might be only commission, whatever. But so there's growth oriented, which is commission and bonus. There's ownership oriented, which is draws, K1s, or bonuses of that type, like all bonus C-suites at the same time as there's a draw. And then there's salary hourly, which is you perform a function. And so when you're opening a partnership and you're opening the door, you need to have that conversation. It's critical. If you don't, you're
Mm-hmm.
When you open a partnership, like a lot of people open a partnership and they're like, hey, we're all coming together because we're all going to put in a certain amount of money, right? Like we're going to have less risk and we're going to have more money because we got 10 of us, 20 of us. But you know what? If there's 20 of you, 18 or 19 are going to be really disenfranchised at a very fast pace if you don't discuss capital management. Capital management, and I'll give you my hack, but then I want to hear yours. My hack for capital management is, and capital management is critical because when you launch partnership, like say 4 partners put in money, you might discuss nobody gets a salary until there's revenue coming into the company.
You're right.
Like we're not just going to put 200 grand in the company and pay each other all 50 grand a year and take 200 grand back out. That's stupid. Like that needs to go to marketing, maybe hiring a clerical person that's going to do shit we're not willing to do, all these other things. And then when the company has reoccurring revenue coming in, month over month revenue, that's when like salaries should start when either at this benchmark or this benchmark. And then draws happen when we've got all these things, in place. The company is spending whatever, 100,000 a month and bringing back 150 and there's excess cash flow. And we will not take a draw. The way I handle it at my companies is we assess a value in our bank account as the zero line. Many of my company, like some we have over $1 million and our zero line is over $1 million because that's the operating cash we require to be in the company.
Right.
Anything over that number gets drawn out per the ownership percentages. We have companies where it's 50,000. Hey, you know what? 50,000 is our capital zero line. And that's just that's what the company needs to exist for 3 to 6 months if no business came in, right? And over that, we'll review once a month on a specific day and draw. We do not draw at your need. Another capital management conversation might be if there's a crisis. If you're, say, partnered on a hard money lending company, fine. I have 2 hard money lending companies. And I love them both. But one I have a partner and he's a wonderful man. And another I don't. Well, the one I don't, I sink millions of my own cash into. And I make loans. And if there's an issue and we foreclose on something, we lenders also borrow, so we borrow from the bank, but I'll go and pay that shit off. And I won't have additional carry on the foreclosure. I'll let that sell and there's no additional carry. It mitigates losses. But there's cash. I have a reinvestment principle that was discussed. My other one, good business, makes money every year. We never set that up. We never discussed that.
Oh, wow.
It's been an ongoing company forever. The partner has a different idea on draws and cash flow than me.
Oh, wow.
The company has no cash. No, I mean, it's a very highly profitable company because we have good systems. But every time we have a foreclosure, there's this like stress of we can't pay off the bank. He doesn't want to put in his cash. And I get it. We didn't set the expectation. Now, it's funny because I have 2 kids that do the same to go back to our kids, right? And I really do like one of the kids better. Like I have a favorite child.
Oh my gosh.
We're talking businesses right now, not actual children. So let's talk capital management because that's a big stress point for many partners and pay. Would you guys mind sharing some stories? We don't need names of people, but I'd love for you to share some stories of crises you had. You might have even tried to give grace, but it didn't work.
Well, and I think it's what you're saying, just getting started without a plan. And the plan that you think is going to come to fruition doesn't. And then what do you do?
Or as quickly as you hoped.
Yeah.
I would say, oh man, that's one lane we're both in, is the financial management of the business. We're in the same lane there. We communicate frequently on that, and anytime there's ups and downs, we know what we need to do. And it's just all through that foresight and planning of how to handle that. I mean, if we can't talk about it on frequently, then it's going to, once again, fall into that fester bucket. But again, too, if we're stuck, we reach out to our resources. We have a close-knit bookkeeping team that helps us manage that. And I think, I don't know, just communicating.
I mean, I think the
It needs a-
expectation too was set from the beginning for us. We were in it to win it. We were not going anywhere. And so if that really is your vision, it might not be somebody else's, right? They might have a breaking point that was different than ours, and they couldn't wait that long, or didn't want to wait that long, or didn't want the stress of waiting that long. For us, we were in it to win it. We had the vision. We knew what we wanted to do. If that meant that we didn't take distributions at times because we were trying to build the company and keep that money in there, invested in the company so we could grow, we decided and we're in alignment to do that. And so you have to also have that right partner that has the same vision as you.
Okay, so I'm going to add that to choose wisely, because common values is beautiful, but common vision, I think, is
Key.
I mean, it's equally on point. Like, if you have the right vision and the wrong values, you're screwed. But if you have the right values and the wrong vision, you're also screwed. That's a brilliant point. And I would say, like, it's funny because I gave up a company without taking a great exit. I mean, I guess I got the exit I wanted. I got out, but I didn't go get out with cash and capital and all this because I broke one of the rules that I trained and coached people on for years. And it was so dumb. Like, I actually partnered with a mentor who coached me on this rule. And then I trained and coached people on this rule.
Oh my gosh.
And later it broke up, but I assumed he'd coached me on the rule. I'd coach people on the rule. So the rules didn't matter to me because I was a genius and he was a genius too. Talk about big egos. And I walked away from a company, and this is a few years ago now, but it was a fun company. Like, we traveled the world, we did all sorts of crazy, and I did not set up the partnership with a specific for a term or with terms. Now, this is with regards to a business. And the reason I say this is because if you go buy an apartment complex, you don't want to set it for a term. Like, the bank might have a term on your note, but the market 3 to 5 years later, you might be able to refi, you might want to sell. Like, the market's going to have a lot of dictating to do with that. But that's an investment. There's a difference between partnering in an investment and partnering in a business. A business is an actively managed investment, whereas an investment is a passively managed investment, the way I look at it. And in a business, you need to set a term for, we're going to do this with a standardized process for valuation, a prenuptial agreement. How do we get married? How do we stay happy? How do we solve problems, give grace? But maybe most importantly, if and when we're not, how do we get divorced safely where nobody's getting hurt? So you set it with a term, or with terms, or for a term, or both. Like, I now, in all of my partnerships, have an annual meeting. And like, if it's a business partnership, I want to meet with the partners every year to discuss whether it's worth doing.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you is, do the terms change? Once you set that from the get-go, how does that evolve for you?
So, with terms, for a term.
Okay.
Every year,
For a term.
the terms are as follows. But if I'm in a business model where the industry is dying, like, there's a reason why Warren Buffett and what's the guy that runs Keller Williams? I can't remember. Gary Keller are both like, let's take some chips off the table.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett's like, I don't want to be in Berkshire Hathaway as much as I was as a real estate brokerage. And Gary Keller is saying, you know what? I'm gonna exit part of Keller Williams. Read the f***ing writing on the wall, guys. That industry is shifting. Okay. Like, I know we all love candles. I know, like, we all appreciate the way that they smell now. They have scents. There's all these bougie. But let's remember, guys, those used to be used for lighting. And what do you think AI, quantum computing, robotics, and all these things are going to replace first? Really expensive players whose jobs could be done with a simple AI system and checklist. Kind of sounds like a realtor, right? Like, what do they need you for? And I'm not attacking realtors. I love realtors. I started as one. But when you walk in and you're like, this is the bathroom, dude, it has a toilet. I have seen one before. I've actually used one a couple times a day. I kind of am thinking about one right now. I may want to take a break. Don't tell me where the bathroom is, dude. Like, let me walk down the hall. Like, there's not so many surprises regarding a home. Like, bedroom, wow. Bathroom, wow. Kitchen, wow. Living space, wow. You got something with a fucking, like, panic room? I'm curious. Show me that. Maybe I haven't seen it. You got a library? You got a gym? Like, show me the cool, but you don't need to tell me what the bathroom is. And, like, let's be real. Like, we got lock boxes and camera systems that can be done with battery and Wi-Fi right now that are replacing real estate agents and a lot of property management companies. And you think that's not coming for you? And all the trillionaires are exiting their. So when I'm looking at an industry shift, I'm sitting there thinking, what does this mean? With terms for a term.
Right.
Like, so every year I'm going to look at that and I'm going to say, the with terms might be like, hey, you guys have to do these roles. And that's what we all agreed to. And you're going to get paid X for it. Like partners, sometimes if they're working within the company, want a salary increase too. Like most of my companies, I don't work in. I'm money bags behind it. Well, employees, I mean, they go through the HR system. You're going to send your partner to your HR manager? Hey, yeah. Go talk to the HR manager. We'll do a review. You got to talk to them. Like you partnered with them, you married them, maybe talk to them. So with terms for a term, depending on what their role is, right?
Yeah.
Like at some point, like what happens if you're in a tech company and you have a partner in the tech company and you hire a CTO that's better than the partner? Shut the up, sit down, get out of the way.
Yeah.
And if they're not willing to do that, then you execute on the buy sell for their shares. Does this make sense?
Of course.
So it's with terms for a term where there's a scheduled meeting. Like you got to schedule sex in your marriage. You got to schedule with terms for a term in your business.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Because
The sex part or the business part?
I mean all of it.
Okay, cool.
But
Your husband's going to watch this and be like, yes.
But the set it and forget it thing is what people do.
Right.
And so that's where, when lives evolve and visions change. Yeah, I love that.
I like
Great.
that. Visions change.
That means the terms change.
Yeah.
And what's important might shift too, if you start off in your place in life and then that evolves.
My wife, this is several years ago now, but when we got married, like there was this advertising, oh yeah, I'm not jealous. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. Oh yeah, you go out with your friends to a strip club or whatever. And I was never a big guy to do that or anything, but like that was kind of some things she said, right? Not kind of. That was some she said.
Yeah.
There's a sales pitch for marriage too. And I was like, yeah, cool. I got the coolest chick in the world, whatever. And she is. 5, 6, 7 years ago, I don't remember the exact date. I'm going out with some friends and it's a bachelor party and we wind up at like a strip club. Like I'm not thinking anything of it. I don't go to those places. I don't frequent it. I don't care. Like, but we go, there's a bachelor party and I come home and like, I'm like showing her like some pictures and like a dumbass. And I'm very transparent. And she's like, I really don't want you going to those places. And I'm like, huh? And I'm like, what? And she's like, look, I said some, but like, I'm setting new expectations. Like we're married. I have new values and this is a no for me. And I didn't know that. She's like, I didn't know that this was a no for me.
Maybe she didn't know either.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That's what she was saying. She's
Until
like,
she was
I
in the
didn't
situation.
know it was a no for me.
Yeah.
And I hadn't gone and tested the theory, but now it's a no for me. She's like, I'm not mad that you went because I created that. But you went and I'm feeling something that where I'm at in my life, I'm not willing to feel. And look, if that's a must for you, and she went really hard, and I was like I was already like, okay, cool. But like she went really hard. She was like, if that's a must for you, I understand. But that's a must not for me. We're doing all this Tony Robbins work at the time. That's a must not for me. And I'm like, calm down, woman. I agree. I love you. Like I won't
already
go back.
said yes.
I already said yes. Stop it. Don't beat me up. Like I didn't know it was a bachelor party. You guys go to bachelorette parties. Do you know how many dicks are at those? Fucking A, all I did was see some tits.
Well,
like your straw that you drink out of is a penis at a bachelorette party. Do not judge me. Like
the way I handled that situation with my husband was, well, how would you, let's flip it. Let's flip the switch. Are you going to feel good if I'm in the situation that you were in at this bachelor party? Is that where you would want me? And he was like, oh, I don't think so. So flipping the switch and that worked well for us.
and it did. But I guess the point I was going for, maybe I didn't clearly communicate it, is I actually appreciated her saying that.
Yeah.
Because the 19-year-old girl that I married doesn't have to be exactly the same as the 25-year-old or the 35-year-old.
They're not going to be.
I mean, we change over time, and just like a marriage, partnerships do too. Maybe the 19-year-old didn't give it. Well, you're married, you have multiple kids, like it's okay to shift.
Yeah.
Maybe she did give it and she didn't know it. People are watching the podcast. Business? Strip clubs? Scheduled sex? Is this how you talk to two women in a fucking America on a podcast that's being aired live on Apple? Uh-huh. Yes, because it's real and we talk real. And if you're not real, you're fake. Doesn't work to fake it till you make it. This is so fun.
I know.
Guys, I love your energy. I just want to honor you for coming on the show. Like, I mean, you obviously had no idea what you were getting into. Like, we met, we laughed, and I'm like, hey, let's go on the show and let's give some value to entrepreneurs. And like, I'm so excited because I'm literally going to turn this into a document that I think is going to be gold for so many entrepreneurs. We will post it in the show notes, but I'd love to maybe give some back to you guys as well. I mean, we're getting a lot of viewers, we're getting a lot of listeners. I think we have a pretty good group in Austin that's watching the show. You guys got a cool entrepreneur community here.
Yeah, we
do. Can we plug your IV lounge? Where can people come get like the comedy tour of Jana and Jordan and like get an IV, like be the first person to get an IV in 2 arms and 2 legs at the same time? Somebody can set a world record. You can get 4 at a time. I don't know if that's a world record, but somebody can go and be there first. So like, where can people get a dose of you? Where can people like find a little more of this? Come hang out, get the health benefits, get an IV, like is there a social media? Like, would you guys like to like give anyone like a little hook and, you know, come in and your first IV is 50% off if you sign up? Like, where can people get a dose of y'all?
Well, we have 2 brick and mortar hydration lounges here in Austin. Our OG that's on South Congress and Riverside in SoCo. It's been almost 9 years since we opened that one. And then our north location's off West Anderson Lane. And then we also do mobiles and large corporate events and festivals and any type of event that needs IVs and elevate it by adding the element of wellness. We have a fantastic team that will come to you. And I mean, I think the most amount of IVs that we've done in one day was 230 IVs in one day. And our team rocked it out. I mean, they had done 150 by lunchtime and it started at 8:30 that morning. Yeah.
That is one thing is we take a lot of pride in how well our teams are well-oiled machines, especially when it comes to bigger events like that. And that can be a doozy and sometimes hard to handle, but our team are rock stars.
Yep.
Well, and I mean, I think we're going to go right after this and you guys are going to like plug me into something, right?
Yep. Yeah,
okay.
Plug it in.
Do I have an okay vein?
Location, and you can find us at iVitaminTherapy.com. That's our website. And of course, we're on Instagram and Facebook and all the social channels
as well. Give us the Instagram, give us the Facebook. Yes. We are going to put it all in the show notes as well. But what is the Instagram, the Facebook?
iVitamin ATX and iVitamin Austin.
Boom.
Yeah.
Jana, Jordan, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for honoring our listeners. Thank you for like just your presence, your grace, your fun. Like I love like how you're bubbly and buoyant and just awesome. And this content is gold. I think you're going to save a lot of business marriages with what maybe even a few marriages for partnerships that are, or entrepreneurs that are like, oh, this might work with my husband or wife. So thank you guys so much for coming on. And thank you guys for tuning in. As always, on Problems to Profit, your problems are what gives you the guidance to become the prophet in your space. We have prophets right here that have taught us about partnership, taught us about marriage, taught us about scheduling sex, taught us about a whole lot of things today. And with that, there's maybe some health benefits you can plug into. In addition, I'm going to do my own shameless plug. When I was coaching, when I was teaching, I coached 4 different billionaires. I coached dozens of centimillionaires, a bunch of decamillionaires. And you know what I found? Most of the coaching sessions had nothing to do with business. And those are fun. You're dealing with marriage, you're dealing with faith, you're dealing with self-confidence, you're dealing with mindset, you're dealing with all that mindset, heart set. But the one thing that did have to do with business, the skill set piece, was all simple check the box, boilerplate, bullet point things. It's a checklist. I logged thousands and thousands of coaching calls, thousands. And you know what I did in logging them? I categorized them. There are 15 different videos. You can get access to all of them. I think the fee's $99 by going to our website, posted in the show notes, by going to our social media, posted in the show notes, theprestonbrown.com. You can get it for $99. But my mission, guys, is not to get your $99. I don't need it. What I do need is for you to become successful. AI, quantum computing, robotics are a real thing. They are a real part of life. They are coming, and they are coming for your job. In the next 2 to 10 years, they will make 60 to 90% of the population obsolete. And as years go, the population that is obsolete will grow. That will decimate and destroy corporate America. That will decimate and destroy small business. That will decimate and destroy anyone who operates on a 5 to 10 point job description that's not thinking. What does that mean? That means that entrepreneurship's coming back. Entrepreneurship's being democratized. I would love to give you all of my courses for free. Here's how you do it. A, you don't want to do this? Pay the $99. There's always a law of reciprocity and even exchange. You don't have to do anything except $99. Some of you guys are going to do that, and we love you for it. It's fun. It pays my girls. It pays the people that put this team together. And anything extra, I donate to charity because I'm doing this for you. But for those of you that are like, I don't know this guy yet. I don't trust this guy yet. I'm not sure yet. Or, hey, maybe I just don't have the money. Great. Share this show. Share a show. Share our social media content. Screenshot that and message us and say, please send me your episodes. My team will send it to you for free. All of the business coaching I ever did logged into 15 categories, and I have 15 short videos, 30 minutes or less, that you can get for free. Or if you're not looking for free, but you like reasonable, $99 to change your life today. Guys, log on, click, take action, go get a f***ing IV, go meet Jana and Jordan, go get some laughter, go have some fun. But most importantly, become the person you're supposed to be, the success you're supposed to be, and change your f***ing life starting today. Log on, grab my courses, share the content, pay the $99. We don't care. Get what you need so you can turn your problems into your profit. Have an amazing day on purpose.